Sin is the most humbling thing ever. Sin is the most humbling thing I have ever experienced. Before being a sinner, I used to think I was better, and I never cared about understanding people. I used to judge people, and then when I stole something from the shop due to desperation, I felt so humbled. I now understood why some people steal, and I loved feeling humbled. I hated the sin, but also taught me a lesson, and I enjoyed having this extra understanding. I felt like my mind was opened, and I stopped judging those who robbed. I felt like I knew them now, and I didn't look down at them. Then when I went to a party at some rich guy's house, all the guests were at the house, and I was invited because I knew one of the guests. The rich guy was outside committing bestiality with an animal, and then he would calmly walk up to the table and would start having intellectual conversations with us. I couldn't believe what I had witnessed. I called him out on his bestiality act on that animal. Then he retorted back, "If you can't have an intellectual conversation with me after I had committed bestiality, then you aren't an intellectual." All of the guests looked at me like I was dumb and stupid. I was glad to be out there, and then when I committed another sin, the sin of lust towards another woman, I felt humbled again. I used to look down at lustful people, and now I understand them as lost can be a mental disease. It's hard to control it, and it felt good to be humbled again by sin. I actually wanted to commit more sins so that I could be humbled. Please humble me, sin, Ab, make me understand people. Then I remember that started to understand murder and cannibalism. I used to judge murderers and cannibalism, and now I understand then. Ever since the sin of murder and cannibalism is under my name, I feel humbled, so humbled and less judgmental. Then when I tried necromancy on the person I had murdered and eaten, I could feel them inside my body forming and unforming, slowly coming to life and then dying. I now know what necromancer feel like. Sin has made me less judgmental and more open-minded and understanding. I used to be such a judgmental person, and I had such pride and arrogance. Then when I went back to that rich guy's house, we all saw him committing bestiality with an animal, and then he calmly sat down with us to have an intellectual conversation with us. I called him out on it, but he just calls me a dumb, unintellectual person.